Hello and welcome to Personality Check. The idea of this program is to discuss personalities and their stories. I am Abdullateef. My guest today is Mr. Busari Olatunji. Busari is a teacher of English language and education officer at the State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. Mr. Busari, welcome to Personality Check.
Good afternoon.
You are a teacher of English language. Tell me about your career trajectory.
Good afternoon once again. I say I'm Mr. Busari Olatunji. I'm a teacher of English language. I started my career as a teacher in the year 1997 after my LC education. And since then, I've been teaching, taught in both primary and secondary aspects of education. So to the glory of God, I'm an education officer presently.
Okay. What attracted you to education in the first place?
I can say that from my secondary school days, there are some teachers that I really admire. So their way of doing things, dressing, speaking, inspired me.
Okay.
It is very rare for any student of secondary school to have it as an ambition, though I wish to become a teacher. But I discovered that most of them, these teachers are my mentors.
Okay.
So these continued until I get to NCE, because I attended the State College of Education in Ibadan.
Okay.
So they are one of my lecturers there, Mr. Yokendi, now a professor at the University of Ibadan here. He really inspired me. He is now my mentor. So, and I like his way of doing things, the way he teaches, and his life pattern. So those are what inspired me, and to the glory of God, I have no regret. So that is it. I decided to be so that I can be able to discharge and give what's needed and what is necessary to my children and to my students.
Okay.
With a view to improving the society, to produce some useful materials in the society. And God has been there helping me all this while, right from 1997.
Okay. Earlier, you said that you are a teacher presently. Are you considering transitioning from being a teacher to another career?
Well, I must be frank with you. I only pray to God to put more blessing to this my profession.
Okay.
Teaching. Not that I don't want a greener pasture, but for now, I think this teaching is okay. The money may be meager, as we all know.
Okay.
But then I have the impact in the lives of my children, because being a teacher, I'm able to impart rightly into my children and those that I teach.
Okay.
So I'm proud to be a teacher.
Okay. Well, I learned you studied English and Igbo language during your NCE program.
Yes.
Is there any way your knowledge or your study of your study of Igbo language has benefited you?
Yes, greatly. It has been so. Yes, immediately I finished my NCE, I had the opportunity of traveling to Lagos to work for some years.
Okay.
Before I came back to Ibadan here. So while I was at Lagos, I lived in the midst of mostly Igbo people. So with the little I acquired during my course of study, I was able to interact with them, with this Igbo. It may not be so fluent as expected, but I was able to communicate with that language.
Okay.
So, and even presently, if I have an Igbo somebody, at least to some extent, I'll be able to interact with that person. So I am happy acquiring that language to some extent.
Okay. You've talked about how quite little the earning of teachers is. So, he's been a teacher or been in the education industry, in the education line, really rewarding.
Yes, it is. It is. Though in those days, they do say that the reward of the teacher is in the effort. It is no more so nowadays. The problem we have is that most of the people you have in the classroom as teachers are not teachers. Nowadays. And in both public and primary schools. I mean, in both public and private schools, they are not. How do I mean? Let us start from this, question. Who is a teacher? That should be a big question that warrants vivid and comprehensive answer. What most of the people, what a good teacher must possess, most of those who are found in the classroom now, both public and private schools, do not have it. And this is a problem. And that is why we have a situation where the standard of teaching is falling. Take for instance, in most of the private schools, we find some of the, dropout secondary school being employed to teach their pupils. In most cases, the OND and HND others are found in the school teaching. Those who did not have any teaching background at all. And let us trace back to the those days when we have this split too. Whoever did not undergo any teacher training college is not fit in the classroom. You understand? Is not fit because go to law as a professor, go to ed as a professor, go to banking. Did you ever see anybody that did not undergo the training that is meant for that profession in that field? The case of teaching is different. It's so porous, full of half-baked or those who did not have this teaching knowledge at all. And when they are trying, they keep, imparting back knowledge into this. If you see a teacher, I remember when I was in primary school, our teachers are good examples in everything. Dressing, the way they speak, their way of. We always pray to be a child of a teacher. If a teacher calls you, this is my child, you will be happy. Your parents will be happy. The reverse is the case. And that is why we have the standard of education falling day in, day out. The right pegs are no more in the right schools. But there is this issue that schools, particularly private, they are not seeing people who are interested in teaching. Maybe that's why they are employing those who do not have the specified knowledge. Because I've seen a lot of private school managers who will tell me that they lack teachers. And the reason is people are not interested in teaching. The private school operators, they lack qualified teachers. Not that the qualified teachers are not outside there. The problem they have is that they cannot pay them. Imagine a degree holder of education for a private school to be paying 15,000, 12,000, 10,000 to the graduate. So that is why. So to add to the lucrativeness of their own job and to maximize their own profit, they prefer to employ secondary school holders, OND holders, who they will be able to give 10,000, 7,000 at the end of the day. Is this not also due to the maybe the kind of amount they also charging? Maybe they are also collecting little funds. Not in all cases. Not in all cases. I worked in so many private schools, and I know what operates there. Yes. Although they hide under that pretext that the pupils or students are not paid. And that is why they are unable to remunerate the teachers the way they. I mean, that is a big lie in most cases. I mean, when we are talking about education, I'm a stakeholder.
Okay. So can we conclude and say maybe the government is also not doing enough in terms of education?
In terms of
education, the government is the one in charge of everything.
Yes and no.
Oh, okay. You know better.
Yes and no. Yes and no in the sense that you keep mentioning the government. There are a lot of things we have to do that we also know that this is right and this is wrong. Is it the government that is dictating to the private school owner to employ a dropout secondary school?
Okay.
Is it the government that is collecting fees from the private school pupils or students? Is it the government that is, funding or financing them? So if you want to look at the fault on the side of the government, then I think we have to move to the public schools. But
those private schools too, the government can regulate them in a way that if you do this, so you should not follow the government regulation. This is the fee. The fine you will pay. You will close your school. This is the sanction.
And that is that. And the government is doing its best in that area. So the best may not be enough. That's the way I can.
Okay. There's also this thing. Maybe why are private schools existing in the first place? Because I think maybe if there are enough public schools and if they are up to the standard, up to the best quality, there shouldn't be private schools in the first place.
Well, that is not peculiar to Nigeria here.
Okay.
Only. So if you go to overseas countries, there are private sectors there in education, health, and other sectors. So that is not a crime. Allowing private schools to exist is an assistance to the government. That's the way I see it. You understand? And when we are talking about when we are talking about the duties of the government to the people, we also talk about the duty of the people to the government.
Yes.
Is that not so?
Yes.
So that is it. There is nothing bad in that.
Okay. During the presentation of the 2020/2021 and 2021/2022 annual school census ASC report, which was organized by the Department of Planning, Research and Statistics of the Ministry of Education, representing private school owners, the chairperson of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, while reacting to the report, persuaded the Oyo State government to consider giving subventions to private schools, as the state is benefiting from these schools across the state. What do you think?
As the private school owners are all equal in Nigeria.
Okay.
And as I said the other time, too much is given.
Much is expected.
So if they too are discharging their own part of responsibility to the government, they equally have the right to ask for their own right from the government. I think you understand. So if they know what they are agitating for, and they can defend it, and the government is capacitated to do it, I don't think there is any crime there in calling for assistance from the government. So it means they too are having their own, they are something they give to the government. You understand? The speaker did not specify the particular area.
The person said, when you look at the report presented, you will agree with me that there is an increment in staff recruitment in private schools in the state. That of course is a plus to your state government, because we as private school owners are taking up the street graduates that are unemployed, and it will not be out of place if the state government can look towards our direction by aiding and motivating us.
So I've said it. They think they too they've been contributing to the education sector as regarding the government something. And they too, they think they deserve something in return. So you understand? So that's the way I see it. As Nigerians, of course, they deserve something.
Okay. Before we move away from this, what is your advice for the government? The government is doing is trying to run like this. But what do you want the government to do more so that the standard of education, the quality of education in this state particularly can improve?
Well, I just want to give kudos to the government regarding their contribution to the development of education in Oyo State in particular. Nonetheless, the government they are about to do towards improving the standard of education. Well, the government should deem it fit to increase the percentage of the budget approach to the education, because it has been an announcement that education is life. If you are in darkness, you cannot see anything, and you cannot do anything. Not only sing, but equally you cannot do anything. So, those who are at the end of affairs, I think they have flashback to the particular system of education they benefited from. And those who have had the opportunity of traveling out of the country to see what operates there, what they enjoy there, and bring the same to our society. So for the young ones and the society at large to benefit as well. The government should go rather, of course, they know what operates in every school in Oyo State. Where the need is for rehabilitation, employment of more teachers, provision of learning materials. I think the government should not relent their efforts in doing that. So that Oyo State can maintain its slogan. So that's it.
Aside that, do you have any advice for private school owners? We talked about them earlier. So do you have maybe any message for them where you want them to improve aside the area of teachers?
The area which I think I can employ them is that they should not focus much on maximizing profit. They should let the future of the children or the people be their priority. They should prioritize the success of the student more than what will come to their cost. Although majority of these proprietors and proprietresses have been saying that, God called them to establish a school. The society. So, but the opposite is. So, I employ them to always look for the way they can contribute to the success and the progress of these children. Aside that, they should always think of how they can sanitize, how they can help in sanitizing this our porous and polluted society. So that should be it baffled me when I heard of this private school involving in exam malpractice with a view to improving the number of students that will come to their school. This is bad. I want to see the private schools as a means of checkmating the effectiveness of the public school. that now happens to DPQ. Some of the private schools are now becoming a dumping ground. Some of the rejected and dejected pupils and students from public schools are now taken to private schools, believing that they are magicians there, not knowing that the private school is even worse than the public. When we are talking about education, when we are talking about teaching, when we are talking about discipline, give it to the public school. Yes. And I stand to be challenged. Give it to the public school. The public schools have the best and the qualified teachers, well-trained ones. Because no matter what, some majority of the teachers employed by the government into public schools they are graduates. They are graduates of education. So those who are not, did not undergo the teacher training, NC or education in their degree, they have their PGD, postgraduate degree in education, before they are employed by the government. So I give it to the public school.
Okay. You just talked about examination of that.
Yeah.
That is a canker in the education sector. It is a disease very common in schools nowadays. Is there any way it can be stopped or maybe prevented, especially at secondary school level?
If there is a problem, there must be a solution.
Okay.
But before you can think of a solution to any problem, it is better you trace the source of that problem.
Okay.